I want to get into the difference between fundamentals and mechanics. They are two words that are misunderstood, especially amongst our youth. I brought the definitions from Merriam-Webster Dictionary today, and even those aren't really describe the situation that we're in as far as teaching hitters of baseball and softball swing. And so I want to do my best to describe the difference between fundamentals and mechanics and how they are interlaid or overlapped and used together, but we have to also really understand the difference between them in order to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish and help the players become more successful in what they're trying to do. So anyways, fundamental is, in my opinion, more scientific. It's a constant. It's how things are and how things work. It's how we generate power or energy and how we transfer that power or energy into the ball and make it do what we want to do. And the basic of what we're trying to do as a hitter is take the barrel of the bat like it's the head of a hammer and take it and move it with a certain amount of force in a certain direction that is going to make the ball do what I want it to do, which is travel fast, far, at certain angles, whatever. And so how is it that we accomplish those? There are certain things that we need to do that are fundamental. They're not going to change from player to player. And so realistically, the fundamentals that a little leaguer is dealing with is exactly the same as the fundamentals a big leaguer is dealing with, in a way that is very similar to gravity. For example, a big leaguer is going to be dealing with gravity the exact same way that a little leaguer is going to be dealing with gravity. It's not going to change, and it's not going to change as they grow older. And so I often tell players, look, these fundamentals are going to be the same for you now as they are 5 years from now when you've grown up. So if you're 12 years old now, 5 years from now, you're going to be in high school and playing varsity ball, and the fundamentals are going to be exactly the same for you. And so it's important to understand what those are. And I'm not going to talk about what those are in this one, just the understanding of the difference of it. So anyways, a mechanic, on the other hand, is going to be how you take your body and your movements to accomplish those fundamentals. Now, everybody's body is different, and it's going to change from player to player. There is not a single person on this planet right now that has exactly the same mechanics as another person. And on the other side of it, if you've got a 12-year-old with certain mechanics right now, his mechanics are going to change 5 years from now. And a little leaguer's mechanics are most likely going to be different in at least one way or another from a big leaguer's. I think that there's a lot of things going around where coaches are taking big league mechanics and trying to transfer those mechanics into a little league player, and it doesn't transfer because they don't have the same strength yet. So I think it's important that we understand that. I want to give an example that I just went through today. I had a player in my cage earlier. He's 8 years old, a baseball player, hitting off a pitching machine. I had one of my coaches in there as well. They called him over, just say, hey, I just want to show you something. This kid has a mechanical flaw, right? He really was getting long in the back and laying the barrel down before he went into rotation. And usually we want to do that differently. But the thing is, the barrel was firing out front in the right path with the right direction, and he was getting a lot of power and hitting the ball pretty hard. And so look, the fundamental of what he's doing right now is good. He's accelerating the bat head through the path of the ball in the right direction, but the mechanic isn't what we would usually teach. And I said, so here's the deal. If that's the case, we're not going to mess with it right now. And sure, there's an argument that, hey, in the future, he's probably going to need to do this different ways when he starts seeing higher velocity and that kind of thing. And I agree with that, and that is definitely a discussion to have. But the bottom line is this kid was having success right now. He was hitting the ball hard, which is the goal of the hitter. And he was doing it in a way that we don't need to change right now. Because he's having success, he's developing his strength, he's accelerating the barrel out front, he's hitting all of the fundamentals. So I'm not going to change it. And I think we have as a society gone into focusing so much on mechanics that in this situation, this kid might have lost his power just to try to get the right mechanic that we think is going, if that makes sense. So anyways, that's a little rant of an example, but there is a difference between fundamentals and mechanics, and I just want to make sure that we talk about it. Now, I did bring out the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a fundamental versus mechanic, and now understand that in the dictionary they take into account a lot of different things, not just baseball or softball hitting, right? It even goes into political stuff and that kind of thing. But the basic definitions are this: the fundamental as an adjective is serving as a basis, supporting existence, or determining essential structure or function. It is of or relating to essential structure, function, or facts. Mechanic, on the other hand, of or relating to manual work or skill. But basic of it, the fundamentals are the principles of hitting, where mechanics are how the body performs the fundamentals. And so really where we're at right now is, I think that when we're teaching hitters from youth through high school and even into the college and professional setting, is we really need to focus more on the fundamentals of what's happening, the science of how we create power, what it is that we're trying to do, and make sure that the player understands that. Because I think we're changing mechanics when the player really doesn't understand what it is they're trying to do. They just think that they're supposed to move a certain way. And I really believe that's hurting them in the long run, or in the short term too. As a coach, my job first, make sure they understand what it is they're trying to do. What are the fundamentals? What are we trying to do? And then it turns into, now, here's how we can work to adjust and change your mechanics to accomplish those fundamentals. And from there, my job as a coach is to guide you to find the mechanics that best suit you. Meaning that I might try something because it worked on a different player and it's not working for you, so I need to be able to adjust, because I need to be able to see right away that that mechanic is now creating more of a flaw in the fundamental. Even though it might look right, even though he might look like that big leaguer, he's not accelerating the barrel, for example. Fundamentals are the same. Fundamentals are constant. They don't change. Mechanics is what we now as coaches and players will start to adjust as long as we understand the fundamentals, because the mechanics and the adjustments are just trying to accomplish the fundamentals in order to hit the ball hard.